The silence in that Louisville corridor didn't just feel heavy, it felt like a crime scene where a legacy was being butchered in real time. Imagine the man who carried the bloodline on his back, the man who finally found his own voice, lying face down on cold concrete, buried under a twisted wreckage of steel pipes and industrial pallets. This wasn't a wrestling angle. This was an execution. GUSO, the main event himself, wasn't just beaten, he was erased. And as the Crimson pooled on the floor, the trajectory of WWE didn't just change, it shattered. Stay with me, because by the end of this breakdown, you'll see the terrifying truth behind the ambulance that drove away that night, and the corporate vultures who were already licking their lips before the sirens even faded. Before we dive into the heart of this conspiracy, I want to take a second to talk to you, the SLAMZONE family. We live for these moments, the highs and the lows of the sport we love. If you believe GUSO deserves justice, if you've ever felt like the underdog fighting against a rigged system, please hit that subscribe button. Join our family. Comment YEET below to show your support for G, share this video with someone who needs to know the truth, and ring that notification bell. It helps us keep the lights on and keep fighting for the stories that matter. We're in this together. 24 hours. That's all it was supposed to be. 24 hours before the Elimination Chamber, where 6 men were destined to enter the brutal steel structure for a shot at the WrestleMania main event. GUSO had earned his stripes. He had the momentum of 1,000 yeets behind him. He was no longer a shadow, no longer just a twin, no longer the broken soldier left behind by Roman Reigns. He was the favorite. He was the soul of the movement. Then, the camera cut backstage. The image was visceral, shaky, raw, frantic. This wasn't the polished, high-definition gloss we're used to. It looked like a leaked police file. G was motionless. The industrial debris piled on top of him looked like the aftermath of a high-speed car wreck. You could feel the air leave the arena. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis weren't just officials in that moment, they looked like men watching their entire WrestleMania calendar burn to ash. The medical staff swarmed. The panic was real. And then, the most chilling sight of all, Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, riding shotgun in the ambulance, screaming at the paramedics as if he could literally intimidate death into staying away from his cousin. But ask yourself, was he guarding G, or was he silencing a witness? As those sirens wailed into the Kentucky night, the Elimination Chamber lost its heartbeat. And in that silence, the vultures began to circle. Enter Paul Heyman, the master manipulator. Within minutes, he wasn't offering sympathy, he was demanding a corporate correction. He stood there, flanked by the remnants of the Vision, Logan Paul and Austin Theory. This faction was supposed to be a juggernaut, but with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed all sidelined by legitimate, brutal injuries, the system was failing. Bronson Reed was the original chosen one for the chamber, but when his biceps tore, GUSO became the accidental victor. He was a variable the office couldn't control. So, they removed the variable. The attack in the corridor wasn't random violence, it was a political hit. Heyman used the chaos to insert Logan Paul into the vacancy G left behind. It's the dark side of the TKO era where a billionaire's influencer carries more weight than a 10-year veteran's blood equity. The match that followed between Jacob Fatu and Logan Paul was supposed to be justice. We wanted to see Fatu tear the Maverick apart. And for a moment, he did. Fatu fought with a primal ferocity, throwing Logan around like a ragdoll. You could feel the energy in the building shifting back to the fans. But the system is rigged for the protected. Austin Theory provided the distraction, a low blow neutralized the giant, and then, the unthinkable happened. Drew McIntyre appeared. The undisputed champion didn't just interfere, he chose a side. He realized a weakened Logan Paul in the chamber was an easier path than a vengeful Jacob Fatu. It was a coalition of villains. A tactical alliance that handed a celebrity the keys to the kingdom while the real grinders were left to rot in hospital beds. Hit that like button, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. We need your voice to keep the main event spirit alive. And then came the moment that truly insulted the fans, the unmasking. For weeks, a masked figure had been haunting the Vision, using Seth Rollins' signature moves. The internet was on fire. Was it Rollins returning early? Was it a massive signing like Ricochet? When Logan Paul finally pulled that mask off, the reveal of Don Furio was a tectonic disappointment. A student from the Black and Brave Academy? A name that meant nothing to the millions watching? It felt like a creative white flag. It felt like they ran out of options and just threw a placeholder in there because the injury bug had bitten too hard. The backlash was instantaneous. Fans weren't just confused, they were insulted. It suggested that the original plan was scrapped, and we were being fed a lie to cover up the mess. But let's look closer at the suspect list. Drew McIntyre has the motive, he's the ultimate hater, clearing his path to mania. But look at the bloodline. Jacob Fatu's eagerness to be in that ambulance, was he making sure G didn't wake up and speak? Was G about to expose a secret so deep it would have ended the family for good? Or what about the masked man? If Furio was working for a sideline Seth Rollins, is Rollins orchestrating chaos from his hospital bed to ensure he's the only one left standing when he returns? Every red string on the evidence board leads back to one truth: GUSO was a threat to the status quo. He was too over, too real, and too dangerous for the corporate plans involving Logan Paul. He was the sacrificial lamb at the altar of social media engagement. As the Elimination Chamber lowers in Chicago, the visual of G's absence will be more powerful than any promo. The fans in the Windy City are not known for their patience. The reception for Logan Paul will be radioactive. While stars like Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes represent the traditional path, Logan Paul represents the shortcut. He's the man who used an ambulance to bypass the grind. The hashtag Justice for G has become a rallying cry. This isn't just about a match anymore, it's about the soul of the main event. G fought his way out of Roman's shadow only to be cast into a deeper one by a celebrity opportunist and a panicked creative team. But history tells us one thing about the Usos: they are hardest to kill when they are backed into a corner. This conspiracy might have stolen G's spot, but it gave him something far more dangerous: a reason for total, unmitigated revenge. When GUSO returns and the price for the sabbatical will be paid in blood. Whether it's Logan, Drew, or even a corrupted Jacob Fatu, the main event is coming for his pound of flesh. The investigation into that corridor attack will haunt the SmackDown locker room, creating a climate of paranoia where every superstar is looking over their shoulder. The sirens of that ambulance still echo in our minds. Was this the most brilliant creative pivot in history, or the moment the TKO era finally lost its way in the fog of corporate politics? Either way, GUSO is the only man the world is talking about. His absence has made him more relevant than he has ever been. The Yeet will return, and when it does, the conspiracy will be dragged into the light. In this new reality of professional wrestling, the drama in the corridors is just as deadly as the drama in the ring. No one is safe. No one is protected. And the main event is only just beginning. Hit that like button one last time, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. Tell us in the comments, who do you think attacked GUSO? Let's get the truth out there together. See you in the next one.